Welcome to Doctrine and Devotion, a podcast that explores Christian faith and practice from a Reformed Baptist perspective. My name is Joe Thorne. I'm the lead pastor of Redeemer Fellowship in St. Charles, Illinois.
And I'm Jimmy Fowler, executive pastor at Redeemer Fellowship.
Alrighty. So just for a little update, Jimmy got a shirt. You guys don't know this if you're not an All Access member because we covered this on our All Access podcast called Banter of Truth. But a great listener sent Marcello. Anyways, he sent in a t-shirt for Jimmy that says Executioner Pastor.
Yep.
Because I put that request out
there.
Yeah,
I know.
And he actually made it.
Joe Fo 1689 on the back.
It's a great looking t-shirt, and I can't wait for Jimmy to wear it.
Should I wear it when I preach on...
You absolutely should wear
I don't know
it
if I can do that.
I think you could.
I can't
Our people would love it.
Oh my gosh.
Now, but in the bag was some beard balm. And
that I was really looking forward to.
And I was like, look at that, you got beard balm. That's awesome. I didn't get anything.
And I was like,
whatever.
Yay!
So then I sent Marcello a little video saying, hey, we got it. Thank you so much. And he's like, no. That beard balm's for you, JoJo.
You know what? Whatever.
So nice.
Whatever.
Feels so good. So while you were gone gallivanting about the island, Jamaica, what island is it? Is it like a bunch of islands in Jamaica? I don't even know. I don't even know how it works.
Anyways,
is it like Hawaii? Is it really? I don't really.
No.
Okay. So
I was on West End.
Wow, West End.
West End.
So while you were gone, my son, Elias, got in a car accident.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's had his car for a whole month.
Yep. Had his car for a whole month. Goes out drinking one night.
No drinking. He doesn't do that.
Did a little smoke?
No smoking. Doesn't like any of that. And
that you know of.
No, because I was there when he's tried both my cigar and the alcohol. He doesn't like that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, cigar is different than
the smoke, the ganja.
Smoke,
He's not into that. We're just So he goes on a date. He's got a girlfriend. He go on a date. Her name's Izzy, really, really nice girl. So they're like going out, and so I'm trying to get set up. I'm in the garage. Weather's nice. I got a cigar. Just cut my cigar.
Get ready for the night.
Yeah, it's nice.
Speaking of, never go.
So I'm gonna get ready to have a cigar. I'm gonna watch a little show or something. Chill out, cut my cigar, get my lighter in hand. My boy calls me and he's like, "Yeah, I just got in a car accident," and I'm like, "Oh man." My first question is, "Can you still drive it?" Not, are you okay? Mm-hmm. Not like, how's everything?
I feel like if he's calling, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. So he's like, no, I don't think I can drive it. I'm like, oh man, all right, are the cops there? He goes, no. And he goes, and I think the person took off. I don't see him. I'm like, oh wow, okay. And so what happened was, Eli's driving northbound on 2nd Street, if you care. Homeboy, this other guy's driving southbound. They come to the intersection. Eli has the right of way. This guy tries to turn left and beat Eli and go through the intersection, but Eli winds up clipping his right rear quarter panel, flipping the car around. So Eli pulls over. Looks like the car's totaled. So that's great. So he calls me. I'm like, I'll be right there. So I get there. It takes me about 10 minutes. I get there. By now, cops are there, fire trucks there, ambulances there, and the airbags have gone off. Like the whole thing. Mm-hmm. It's a big mess. And the cops are talking to him and everything. Really cool cops. St. Charles cops, great. Everything was cool. So his girlfriend's talking to his parents on the phone, and I pull Eli aside, and I was like, "Did you hold it together? How did you do?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm annoyed. I didn't even get to dinner. Like I was just, the whole night." He's less concerned about the car being broken. He's less annoyed. He's not worried about going to the hospital. He's annoyed that date night.
Probably because that's the way you guys are with cars.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
You guys just go through cars.
I don't go through cars. I buy bad cars. I don't go through them. I don't get in accidents.
I know, but
I buy bad cars. He had a fine car. But it got wrecked. So he's fine, and he didn't go to the hospital. But yeah, he has no car now.
Did they find the other guy?
Oh yeah. It was funny because he was like 20 something, and a nicer car, and pretty banged up. The car, not him, but he was acting super weird, and the cop was like, "Yeah, I think he might have a medical condition or something." And I said in front of the cops and the firefighter, like, "He's high." Look at that guy. He's high. And the cop's like, yeah, okay, well maybe. I like, no, look at that guy's high. Get that guy a test. Anyways, he was at fault, so we'll see what happens. But send some love and some prayer for my boy. We got to figure something out for him to get a car. That's the thing.
Unfortunate.
You know what?
Oh, go ahead.
You were gonna say something. Go, do your thing.
Nah, that's fine.
Oh, you're Mr. Anticlimactic.
No. Not to one up you.
Oh, please do. I like a one upper.
But my neighbor.
Okay.
Also got it. Because it happened right outside my house.
Yeah.
But some drunk driver came, totaled his truck, drove away.
Why is your street the street for drunks. It's a dead end street in a nice residential area in St. Charles. It is a black hole for drunkards. That's where they walk down that street. They drive down that street, and they go for your house. The only reason they're not hitting it is because there's stuff in the way.
What the heck? I don't know.
You need to move.
That's what I'm looking to do. That's what I'm looking to do. Put in an offer. Yeah, pray for that, guys. Put in an offer. They accepted it.
Yeah.
Waiting to see. Hopefully I close at the end of this
You ever
month.
see the movie Money Pit with Tom Hanks? That's what you're getting.
That's what I'm getting. Yep, that
it
sounds
looks great,
right.
and then it's going to be a disaster. All right, I know we don't have a lot of time. Jimmy's got to go. He's got lawyers and business and like sushi lunches with Cristal or whatever you do. I don't know what you do, but I know it's something like that. You got to hop on the helicopter and meet him in Chicago for something. I don't know what you do. But anyway, we thought we would just do a quick episode on like a fun one.
Yeah.
Yeah, things pastors hate. Let's just do that.
Yeah, we have not talked about this.
Now, here's the thing.
Ooh.
This does not necessarily reflect our experiences at Redeemer. And I'll be honest, when they are reflected, I'll tell you this happens. But these are things that pastors hate pretty much across the board. They annoy them, they're annoying, and maybe you need to know what these are.
Because if you know, then you won't do.
You know what? That's why NBC had that whole thing. The
more you know.
The more they're trying to help. Trying to help people.
Yeah.
Remember G.I. Joe used to do that kind of stuff at the end of their cartoons?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to help people.
Yeah. You know what? I want to help somebody.
Okay.
I'm just going to profess. Hold on.
Okay, go.
I wasn't going to share it, but I'm going to share it because we talked about it a little bit.
All right.
I watched the Zack Snyder thing.
Yeah, Justice League, yeah.
Yeah. Very good. What are you talking about? You were totally anti. Like
I was not. I said it was very good. I said I enjoyed it.
You're like, he was all right.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you made it sound like it was marginally better.
No, I didn't. In fact, I specifically said it's much better.
I don't remember that.
You weren't listening.
Okay.
No, I'm very pro Zack Snyder's. The only thing I said was it's still a superhero movie, so there are things that I'm just not.
Yeah, it was very comic book. It was very DC.
Yeah,
comic,
dark, gritty,
gritty, slow.
Yep,
character development.
Love that.
That was the movie that should have came out.
Oh yeah, totally.
Or it should have been like a trilogy. Two there, and then they
or a series, man.
A series or something.
Great series.
Anyways, I wish they would do it, but I want more.
Yeah, they're not.
I want more.
They've already said they're. But when you compare those two movies, when you look at Joss Whedon's movie, it looks like a sitcom. It's shot like a sitcom. It's light.
Yeah,
it's bright. It's just cheesy. It's awful.
He was trying to mimic Marvel.
Yeah,
and it's a completely different world.
Yeah, it's a different world, and they've honed their craft. It's why I don't enjoy most Marvel movies because they are too bright and light.
See, I find the Marvel stuff's great for kids.
Yeah, sure.
Right? But I want DC.
I want Batman. But yeah, it was it was really good. All right, Jimmy, let's get into some things that pastors hate. Okay. I'm going to share one because this happens, and this has happened at Redeemer.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, when a pastor, it's Sunday morning, the pastor's getting ready to go and preach. He's got his Bible in his hand. He's got his notes. He's got his coat on. He's got his breath mints because he had a cigar before, Sunday service. And he's getting ready to go up there, and he's hustling around. And then a deacon or a church member or an elder comes up and drops a problem on them. Hey, man, I know you're busy, but you got to know, here's a problem that we got to deal with. It's not a problem related to that service. It's not a problem that you can do anything about in the next 45 minutes. But they feel better getting it off their chest, so they drop the problem on you. So now you've got this thing when you're just getting ready to go and preach. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't
Pastors
do that thing.
Hate that because it's distracting. It's discouraging. You're in the zone. You're focused. You're here to bring the word to God's people, and now you're thinking about like, oh my goodness, there's a financial issue, or there is a fight somewhere that happened in a small group, and you can't do anything about it right now, and it's just, you know what? It backs up the flow,
What do you mean by backs up the flow?
It interrupts the flow of preaching. Like it's all, it's like, it's sort of like, what do you call those things?
I don't know.
It's the opposite of a diuretic.
What is that?
Makes you go number 2.
Okay.
A diuretic.
Okay. I've never heard that term.
Oh my goodness. Well, wait till you're caring for the elderly in your house. And you'll learn all about it. But then there's the other ones that are like, they're like concrete mixers. It's like it stops the flow.
Yeah.
That's what that is. So that's something that all preachers hate. I've experienced it. You've experienced it.
Yep.
Don't do that.
Don't do that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now this one, I don't think I've ever experienced. No, you know what I have, but not at Redeemer.
Yeah.
Sermon criticism immediately after preaching.
Face to face, somebody comes up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have got that at Redeemer, but never from a member, always from a visitor. Somebody who's like, yeah, they want to show off and they want to try and school me.
You know what I have gotten is like, you should have done this.
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah.
not like, oh, you could have used this verse or this. It's like, okay, but that wasn't criticism by any means.
It's constructive.
It's constructive,
yeah.
but no. But even some criticism could be constructive. This one was when I've had that. That's more of like, hey, because second service is coming on, maybe think of this,
right?
Which at that time is still not helpful because you're still.
If it's critical, offer it. If it's not, leave it.
Exactly. Like if I said something heretical, then you got to let me know.
Yeah.
But like, there's very little tweaking that can kind of go on in between services, right?
Some people don't know, like, hey, you know what? We've just spent multiple hours crafting this thing. We've thought about what you're talking about. And the reason we left it out is we have a variety of reasons why we might have left something out versus putting it in.
I have so my last church, so I was preaching and I preached, I had the way you and I preach, right? I had our style. Yeah. You know, and I was with the youth and everything. I would just preach like that, you know,
the Joe Fo style.
But for the adults, the guy wanted me to write everything out.
He wanted you to manuscript it?
Manuscript. So you can check it.
Get out of here.
And so I had to do it. You know?
Yeah. Well, you know who wouldn't have done it?
I know you.
I wouldn't have done it.
Okay, but I was still young, trying to learn.
You know what? When I was young, still wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, I know you. I'm not a sheep. I'm a lion.
Yeah, sheeple. You need to stop being followers. We should all be leaders like me.
So
yeah, you had to do it.
I had to do it. You know, I'm still young. You know,
it's a good habit.
It's a good. Yeah, and so I do it, and one lady that was volunteered at the youth group was like, "Yeah, I invited friends and family."
Good.
That wasn't you.
Oh, they wanted the real fofo,
yeah,
and they got the manuscripted
mess. They got fofo.
Yeah.
Fofa.
Oh,
Fofa.
They got the foo-foo.
Foo-foo.
You come for the fofo and you get the foo-foo and you're not happy.
They're like, yeah, I invited friends and family.
No, that's a compliment in a criticism, right?
I'm a little bit embarrassed.
Yeah.
That wasn't you.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was.
They've been talking you up. You got to hear this guy. He's awesome. Yeah. So here's the thing, man. Like, listen.
So I did after that. I thought to myself, I will never do that again.
Yeah, forget that.
I will never do that again. Never, never, never.
It's even hard if you manuscript. It's hard to completely put it out of your mind because you're trying to recall things that you wrote. It can really jam you up. Like I just don't do it. But
yeah.
Now, on sermon criticism, I am open to sermon criticism. I want sermon criticism. Some pastors, I think secure pastors are okay with sermon criticism at the right time with the right attitude. Like, so in other words, you're not coming to hate, you're coming to help. And if it's warranted, right? It's just because you don't like it doesn't mean that, or because you have a different doctrine, that's not going to be helpful. Like, here's my doctrine. Your doctrine's different. You coming at me with your doctrine is not going to do anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're a member, if you have a relationship, criticism is fine, but just maybe not right after when pastors are feeling a little insecure after their message.
So speaking of criticism,
the worst kind?
What's the worst kind?
Oh, the worst kind? Yeah, the anonymous criticism.
Oh, the worst.
And anonymous criticism happens.
Worst.
So like somebody like drops a note in the church office or something, don't sign it. Or the other form is people are saying. Oh, really? Who is that? Oh, I'm sure people. You know, just.
Oh no, you've heard me say to people like,
yeah.
no, I don't accept that.
Yeah.
No, I don't play the game of he said, she said. Tell me who it is, or go tell them to talk to me.
Yeah.
But you're not bringing this to me.
Yeah.
I ain't hearing this.
Anonymous. Listen, if you are a part of a church, first of all, you shouldn't ever feel comfortable offering anonymous. We're a family. You're supposed to be able to say, hey, listen, I have a problem here. This bothers me.
Yeah.
And as your sister or as your brother, this bothers me. So I'm going to bring it to you. And I'm so grateful that we've had Colson Hauser do that. And a couple of times over our 13 years, he's like, hey man, this I think is out of balance. And it bothers me a little bit.
Yeah.
And it led to change.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what Colson's never done? So I was talking to this couple and they were upset.
Yeah. Never.
But I can't tell you who it is.
You know, just some people.
Just some people. He's never done that.
No.
And like, I wouldn't accept that. He knows I wouldn't accept it.
No.
I'd force him to tell me.
Get the heck out of here with that.
Yeah, you tell me who it is. Or go tell them, don't bring this to me. Don't bring this to me. You can't. That's out of bounds. That actually goes against our covenant.
Yeah.
That goes against our covenant.
Yeah.
Right? Like if it's Matthew 18, you come to me, or at least tell me who it is, and I'll go to them. I don't care.
Yeah.
I have no problem
deal with
saying, it. I have no problem. Let's all be transparent. I'm not offended by it.
Yep.
But I'm not going to play the game of, Oh, well, I can't tell you who it is. Well, then quiet.
If you don't have the courage to come and tell somebody what's up, it's not that big of a deal. Or
if you're too afraid to say who said it, then maybe you shouldn't have said it.
Exactly. Unless there are cases where, okay, you've got a bully pastor who just beats people up, and so now you don't know what to do. I get that there are sometimes exceptions, but you still, I think, either get out of there if that's the kind of guy. You don't want to follow that guy.
No.
Or just man up and go straight in and say, I'm going to take the hit. I'm going to make it known, and then I'm going to leave. Whatever you got to do. All right, now you want to take on this next one?
Oh, this is the
you
one.
You a believer in this?
In the higher standard? I am a believer in the higher standard. Joe calls it nonsense. Now, why do you call it nonsense?
Oh, the higher standard nonsense. Because
I do believe it.
You don't believe it the way I'm talking about it.
I'm sure I don't.
When people say pastors are held to a higher standard, my common response is higher than what? Higher than Scripture? Higher than Jesus standards? Like higher than what? What are you talking about? Because most of the people that make that argument are saying, well, you can't do that, which is not a biblical thing, because you're held to a higher standard. Pastors can't smoke cigars because they're held to a higher standard. Higher than what? Higher than the Bible? Pastors are not held to a higher standard. Pastors are held to a standard. Pastors are held to a biblical standard. But in reality, it's the same standard that all Christians are held to. The difference is they're actually held to it. That's the only difference. So it's not, they're not held to a higher standard. Higher than a standard for whom? The only difference in standards for pastors versus other people is that they have to be able to teach. Right? That's fundamentally it.
No, but they're also responsible for the way the church goes. So there is a standard. There is a quote unquote higher standard. Now I understand
it's not a higher standard. It's a different.
It's a higher biblical standard.
No,
because not everyone's responsible for the life of the church.
That's true for everybody.
No.
Listen. If you're talking about vocation, everybody has different responsibilities in various vocations. The standards are set in Scripture, and when people are saying you're held to a higher standard, it's never applied to. I've never once, and I've heard it multiple times, it's never once been like, well, listen, you can't just wing it and just off the cuff preach without preparing for it because you need to study to show yourself approved because you're held to that standard. Like, well, yeah, I agree with that. The higher standard,
I know what you're talking about.
In quote, higher standard is total nonsense.
No, well, you're talking, I don't think it's total nonsense, but
it's total nonsense.
It's not total nonsense.
Total nonsense.
Not total nonsense.
Total nonsense.
But I agree with your sense of when they try to make extra biblical
The
standard.
only people that use that are people that are talking
No.
extra biblical. Give me an example. One time somebody said, you're held to a higher standard and it was legit.
It's legit. Okay, hold on. Let me think of it.
All right, now you guys come back in 2 weeks and Jimmy will still be thinking. He'll still be thinking.
Nuh-uh.
Because nobody says that unless they're talking extra biblical.
I don't think so.
Have you ever heard it used positively?
Yes.
When?
I don't. Give me a moment.
Okay,
give
let's
me
go.
a moment.
You've already had a couple.
I feel
like I've given you plenty of time.
You keep talking to my ear.
No, I'm not talking.
So
you only have one. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
I don't want to talk to you. I'm talking to the dead one. Can I yell in the dead ear? No, of course, obviously there's exceptions. Like there's always exceptions.
That's what I'm trying to say. There are exceptions.
Sure. But in general, the whole higher standard.
I understand what you're saying. You're saying when it's weaponized. That's what you're talking about. You're talking about the weaponization of it.
Yeah, but I feel like it's by and large, as a guy that's been doing this for 20 years full time, it's generally weaponized. It's generally not you. I don't hear people ever, and I've never heard it said or had it related to me by another pastor. It's like, well, they said that these people are held to a higher standard in a good way. I'm sure it happens, not in my experience. The higher standard nonsense that I'm talking about is the fundamentalistic extra biblical when people are saying higher than what Scripture warrants. That's what I'm, and I know you would agree.
I agree with you on that. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
So we're not disagreeing. You're just parsing words.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't you have a meeting to go to?
Yeah, but he'll be
just come up with one more.
Listen, but they'll come. Listen.
Oh, he waits for you.
Meeting starts when I show up.
Yeah. The lawyer works for you. I forget.
Yeah. See, I don't rush myself.
But
it's like when people email.
Yeah.
Or they put like, please respond and read. I'm like, nah.
You tell me what to do.
No. Like I keep trying to say, the phone is there for me, not for you, and I will get back to you when it's convenient for me. This is here for my convenience.
The problem though is, Jimmy, the helicopter is running, and that's expensive.
Well, the lawyer picks up that tab.
Oh, does he? Okay, that's on him. Good.
All right.
Good.
Last one.
All right.
Unfair expectations on the pastor's wife.
That's a thing.
That's a thing. I've not had that here.
No. Our people are way too cool.
I definitely had it in the past.
Yep, I have too. Yeah, a lot of
even
churches.
at the job interview, like, what's so you're doing this? What's your wife going to do? I'm like, I don't know.
None of your business.
Come to church.
She's going to be a church member.
Like, I don't know. Are you paying us more? Like, am I understanding this? Is this a 2-for-1?
I'll sign her up right now for that.
Yeah. Are you paying both of us? Like, I asked that. I'm like, are you the job description was for one.
Yeah. Now we're talking two.
Now we're talking two.
Okay.
Are we doubling this?
Double
or what
that
are we doing?
salary, baby. Yeah, a lot. And this is definitely, I know in Baptist churches, this was oftentimes a thing. And in a good Bible college or a good seminary, they'll actually coach you through this because it is so common. They'll say, listen, clarify with search committees when you're going there to candidate as a potential pastor that they are hiring you, not your wife.
Yeah.
And the only thing that they can expect from your wife is what they would expect from any normal member, because she is not held to a higher standard. She is held to the same standard that all people are held to. See how I worked that back in? I like that. So what are some things that they expect the pastor's wife to do, especially in Baptist churches?
Oh, children's ministry.
Play the piano.
Sing.
Always look good and never complain.
Women's ministry.
Cooking. Like for
the
fellowship,
potluck
cooking, potluck stuff. Yep, taking the lead on that.
I don't know what else.
Yeah, me neither. I was stretching. I thought.
Oh, you were stretching. That one.
Hey, you know what? There are some things that pastors hate, and there's more. But I can see the helicopter in the lawn of the church waiting to take Jimmy to this very fancy meeting. So we got to wrap it up. But just know, honestly, there are things that annoy everybody, and these aren't making us mad. We're not currently under any pressure because of these things. These are just common things that we've experienced. Some of them, not very many of them here, because we have the greatest people on the planet.
No, it really is a forgiving people.
They tend to
really
understand.
Gracious and
They know that we're busy and hardworking. They feel free to come to us with a concern or a problem.
Yep.
But every once in a while, they will drop a stupid problem on us right before we're preaching, and I can't do anything about it. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Awesome. Yeah.
Well, we'd love to hear your thoughts. You can follow us online on Instagram.
Not before preaching. Don't want to hear your thoughts before I go out to preach.
Or on Facebook /Doctrine and Devotion.
Oh my gosh.
You can head to the website, drdevotion.com. There you can contact us. You can sign up for the email blast, or hit up the store, jofostore.com, and grab some gear. We got Fresh Pod every Monday and Thursday. We got that blog post and video content.
It's like a banana in the tailpipe.
What?
It's like a banana in the tailpipe when they drop a problem on you when you're trying to get up there to preach. You can't go.
We've also got that all access exclusive content. We got Banter of Truth on Tuesdays and Weekday Wisdom. Head on over to drdevotion.com /all access and get on it later.
Woo-hoo.